So Chin and I are delighted to have been approached by Creative Verso to participate in our first Chelsea Flower Show this September. The garden is called the Guangzhou Garden, Guangzhou, China. And it's a journey for us that started some 2 years ago when we were invited by the Guangzhou government, and particularly the Municipality of Landscape and Forestry, to go to Guangzhou for a study tour to get inspiration for the design of the garden. And it's an incredible trip and inspiring indeed, but it's also quite frightening, the fact that how do you represent a tier 1 city in China, southern China, with a population of 15 million people in a garden 20 metres by 10 metres. So during our study tour, we were taken to 3 locations that really inspired our concept. First, we went to the Beiyun mountain to the north of the city, a fantastic forested area full of wildlife, an area where people, hundreds of thousands of people visit every month to take in the clean air. Indeed, the region is known as the lung for Guangzhou city. The second place we were taken to was to the south of the city, the wetlands. Incredibly rich in marginal and aquatic planting, and again a wildlife haven that used to be used for fruit growing and fish farming. But the recognition that this habitat that they've created in this region, another protected landscape, had great attributes for cleaning and polishing the water, and it's known as the city's kidney. And thirdly, finally, the other key location we went to was in the central business district, where they have a fantastic linear park that connects right down to the Pearl River, inviting the wildlife into the very heart of the central business district, a place that is used by people and nature. And it is these 3 elements that we decided to use to structure our garden concept. So we have the green lung at the head of the garden at Chelsea. At the centre we have the social heart for people and wildlife. And to the south we have quite an extensive wetland garden within Chelsea, our blue kidney. Inspired by a future landscape city such as Guangzhou, we have a number of structures that frame and introduced within the garden. But we also modelled the garden around an abstract form of a woodland dell. So the water flows from the green lung, embraces the social heart, out into our wetland area. We have some fantastic aquatic and marginal plants. We have some fabulous trees in the garden, some dawn redwoods, some multi-stemmed field maples, river birch, and an amazing Scots pine. And the overall planting character will be serene, elegant, green planting throughout, but planting it is particularly good, as I say, at cleaning the air and cleaning the water, so ferns and sedges. And particularly important are some of the structures which my colleague Chin will talk about in a moment. But also, one of the other interesting aspects of the garden this year is that being delivered in September, we've had to have a think about some of the species. The May programme, we're fortunate in a lot of our planting, particularly the species that are cleaning the air, will still look really good in September. But actually also the added benefit for us in September now is that we're able to introduce a much more exotic and interesting feel to the wetland area. So we're looking at introducing some amazing water lily gardens within there, 3 or 4 species, some equisetums, some pickerel weed throughout the margins, etc. So it will give a very exotic feeling to the entire garden.
I'm very happy to participate in my first Chelsea garden with Peter. As Peter mentioned, there are some structure inside the garden to represent the Guangzhou cityscape, the urbanism. And we're choosing the bamboo, of course, it's kind of related to China, but the more important is it's a very sustainable material. It's a grass, not the wood, and it can get to mature in 5 years. So it's a very good alternative products instead of the hardwood. And we choose 2 different types. One is smaller section, so we can bend it to form a very beautiful structure pattern. And another one is darker color to form as a cladding wall to form a backdrop for the planting. For the backdrop, we have this laminate dark colored bamboo Beside that, we also have a green wall in the back. We call it active floor, and it's quite a new product in the market. And then the main is not just provide a green wall for visual purpose, it also can clean the air, and we can use the air to put into somewhere. So we will using that air to reducting, and then to maybe to use it into the social hub to people. When people sit down, they can feel that the fresh air actually just being cleaning from that green wall. And then we also have the water feature inside the garden, which will be come out from the green wall and then on the side wall as well, and then to form there as a water rail, which is like represent like the Pearl River to wrapping around the central social hub and then come into the wetland and the front to part of the water feature. We are very excited for the garden, and then we want the people come to visit to enjoy this garden, but they also can to see the power of the plants, how the plants can clean the air and clean the water, and then how the people can connect to the nature.
So our garden demonstrates that the combination of technology and nature and recognition of those important environmental strategies can be transforming our landscape cities of the future into wonderful environments where people and nature come together for a benefit. We hope people leave the garden inspired and uplifted.